Bridging the gap, the human element in Six Sigma control. Look, today we're confronting a pretty hard truth about process management. We are zooming right into that critical moment where pristine boardroom theory violently collides with the kinetic, messy reality of the shop floor. Let's get right into it.
You can write the most brilliant standard operating procedures, design mathematically flawless workflows, and install the most advanced technology in the world. But if your team members return to their old habits the moment you turn your back, your Six Sigma project is dead in the water. True operational excellence is never just a technical triumph, it is a behavioral shift. In the control phase, we don't just audit machines and spreadsheets. We use behavioral observations, or GOP, Gedragsobservatie Programma, to ensure that the new way of working is permanently anchored into the DNA of your corporate culture.
Take a look at this massive number, 80%. Seriously, when a newly optimized process starts to fail, up to 80% of those deviations are driven by human variation, unauthorized shortcuts, or just a simple lack of understanding. I mean, think about it. We spend months, literally months, in the define, measure, analyze, and improve phases, right? We map out the value streams, calculate the defects per million opportunities, and optimize all the variables. But processes are executed by human beings. If we ignore human psychology, that 80%, it's going to slowly dismantle every single efficiency gain we've ever engineered.
Section 1. Anatomy of Behavioral Observation. Let's dive in.
So what exactly is a GOP? Well, it's a structured, completely non-punitive observation method. This is where a leader, usually a lean Six Sigma black belt, actively watches an operator perform the new standard live, right there on the floor. Let me be super clear about this. Simply printing out a shiny new SOP and sticking it on a break room wall does absolutely nothing to change behavior. Zero. The GOP is about actively monitoring the verbal and non-verbal signals people give off while working, so we can map out the real risk of failure.
Now, you might be wondering why focus on behavior at all. Well, it's because processes are socio-technical. You've got the technical system, the machines, the software, and you've got the social system, the people. And let's face it, old habits die hard. The problem with traditional audits is that they only check the aftermath. By the time an audit actually catches a defect, the failure has already happened. Behavior dictates the outcome. As Deming famously pointed out, systems have to be managed by leadership, but it's exactly in the human interaction with that system where all those hidden variations and deviations live. We absolutely have to look at the live execution.
Moving on to Section 2, the 3 golden pillars of GOP. Okay, this sequence right here, this is your mental blueprint. Step 1, observe without judgment. You're checking the usability of the process, not judging the worth of the person. That's a huge distinction. Step 2, establish a constructive feedback loop. This means explicitly catching operators doing things right so you can reinforce that positive behavior, and then actually discussing the why behind any deviations you see. And finally, step 3, identify friction points. You need to figure out if the new standard is being bypassed because someone is just being stubborn, or because the process itself is genuinely too complex or ergonomically unfriendly.
Let's look at this in Section 3, in action, with BlueprintRM&co.
Let's take a look at BlueprintRM&co, which is a premium e-commerce logistics environment, just to see how this cultural tool operates in the real world. Here is the standard we are trying to anchor. The engineering team designed this mathematically flawless 4-step sequence for packaging high-end luxury gadgets. Step 1, prepare the box. Step 2, insert the gadget. Step 3, this is the critical smart camera barcode scan to verify the exact item matches the order. And Step 4, the final seal. Every single packer has to execute this exact sequence to ensure 0 defects. Seems simple enough, right?
So picture the kinetic energy of a busy shop floor. The black belt steps out of the quiet boardroom and onto the floor with their GOP checklist in hand. They start observing Marco. Now, Marco is a highly experienced, typically super reliable operator, and he's actively working through his orders. The GOP is now in motion.
But almost immediately, a deviation pops up. Marco is routinely bypassing Step 3, that crucial visual barcode scan check. He's literally skipping the exact step designed to prevent shipping errors. So what's going on here? Why is he doing this? Well, it turns out Marco feels this new technological step slows down his daily volume. And, as a seasoned pro, he really prides himself on his speed.
Which brings us to Section 4, resolving the friction point.
Now, a traditional manager sees Marco skipping Step 3 and bam, they immediately issue a formal written warning for noncompliance. They act like a policeman. But our black belt, they act as a Six Sigma coach. Applying those GOP pillars we talked about, the coach asks why in a totally non-judgmental way. And through this coaching dialogue, they uncover a massive insight. The barcode scanner is mounted at a really awkward angle. For a high-volume packer like Marco, having to use it 100 times an hour is causing genuine wrist strain. Marco wasn't bypassing the step out of malice. He was bypassing it because the process design was completely ergonomically flawed. Talk about an aha moment.
So, the solution is immediate. The team repositions the scanner right there on the spot, totally eliminating that awkward angle. Marco feels heard. He feels respected. And because his physical comfort and expertise were actually valued, he instantly embraces the standard. He stops skipping step 3. And get this, he actually becomes a vocal champion for the new workflow among the rest of the staff. The behavior is successfully redirected and, more importantly, permanently anchored.
Let's wrap this up in Section 5, Sustainable Strategic Value.
Behavioral observation forces a fundamental DNA-level shift in leadership. Managers transform from distant policemen, just tracking metrics on some spreadsheet in an office, into active, on-the-floor coaches. When leadership is actually present, asking why and fixing those real-world friction points, continuous improvement stops being this temporary, painful project. It becomes a sustainable corporate culture. It just becomes the way things are done around here.
And that is the ultimate bridge, right? GOP connects the boardroom's pristine theoretical data with the messy human reality of the shop floor. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on for your own organization. Can your most expensive, meticulously designed workflows truly survive contact with human nature without behavioral observation?
For education and entertainments,